you can start developing a consistent identity. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So this is the same church. This is their YouTube channel. This is their website. That's their Facebook page. Don't look too closely at the name. Almost 90% of Adventist churches look the same way. What's the problem here? I need it louder, please. No consistency. Different logos, different colors, different fonts, different names of the organization. If you're doing a consistent action that's good in your community and your name's on it over time, it just became 3 times harder to build a recognition for that action. Makes sense? Because we got 3 different organizations in essence here. Does that click? All right. And there's this quote that I just love from Dr. Flint McLaughlin from Marketing Experiment Labs. It says, consistency is better than being better. And what does that mean? That means as soon as somebody recognizes your logo, you get somebody that walks in the board meeting and say, that logo looks terrible. Let's do another one. Just the time the community started to recognize the first one, you switch to a new one. You start the process all over again. Make sense? All right? Identity matters. You know, I was sitting in my office the other day, and they have this really cool app. I was like, hey, Jess is my wife. What do you think I'd look like if I had hair? And I said, well, let's check it out. Oh, we can keep going. This is an identity problem. And what's the guy who had sideburns today? Has nothing to these bad boys. Consistency matters. If you look different, you're going to have to work 4 times as hard. And you know, if you don't have a team of graphic designers, it's okay. Because the Adventist Church has actually developed one. It's just sitting out there. They have rules, how you should use it, how you can make your stuff look super consistent. You don't even have to hire a graphic designer to do it. You can just take what's already there. You can develop custom ones if you want to, but it needs to be consistent for a long period of time. All of these things should be consistent. Colors, how you use the logo. There's actually rules. And now you understand the reason for the rules. Does it make sense? I grew up when I was early in my marketing career, I was like, dude, these people who give us the shirts are really Nazis. Like, it's got to be on a certain weight of fabric, it's got to be a certain hexadecimal color, it's got to be a certain font size with so much space around it. It's like, these people are nuts. Then it clicked. It matters. And you know, with the tools that we have at our disposal today, it's very easy to develop what I call templatitis. Well, actually, before I get to that. So this is interesting, right? This is about what my dad's Toyota truck looked like. Some strong opinions here. I don't want to be divisive today. This is what a newer one looks like. Check that out. That's like 35 years of difference right there. That's some pretty ugly font, isn't it? But I love it. It's consistent, isn't it? It doesn't look that different. Has your church's identity stayed the same for 35 years? Probably not. So, I want to ask you an important question. What's more important? Brand or identity? Could be. Yes. I agree. I think a name can have a tremendous, Open Door SDA Church. You still keep the consistency, but it conveys something. So I think that's part one, right? I think you get my attention with that. But then I'm watching you from afar and I'm saying, what does Open Door mean for those guys? You know, so how are you showing me you have an open door? I think that at the end of the day is more important. What is a brand? Remind me. Gut feeling about your church. What's an identity? A representation to the best of our ability of what that gut feeling is. Make sense? So, the gut feeling is by far the most important because you could do whatever you want in the design. It could be ugly orange. But if you're consistently good with that ugly orange, guess what? I'm going to like you. Brand is way more important than identity. Identity is just like, how do we maintain consistency? So that Toyota logo, like I can go out and buy a Toyota and I have a disposition, I understand what I'm going to get because it's represented consistently over time. So I want to give you an exercise. So level 1, take a screenshot of your website, all of your social media, your signage, your bulletin, print them out, lay them out on a table, and then ask yourself, do they all look like they're from the same organization? And if they're not, you have at least the first step. You've recognized the problem. Now, if you want to take this to level 2, do the same thing, but put a little piece of black tape over your logos and identifying information and invite somebody around the corner of your church. Say, I'm doing a little research project. Can you come tell us which of these things belong to our church? They'll tell you real fast, oh, that's not your church. Oh, that's your church. This isn't your church. Take them 2 seconds because they have no predefined expectation of what that is. Okay? So that's how you can tell. So this is, beware of templatitis. So this is a website from a conference. Don't Google it. Again, this is not throwing anybody under the bus. It's just saying we all suffer from this. This is a picture from the homepage. I can't see anything consistent about it whatsoever. The fonts are different, the colors are different. Some use circles, some use little highlights in the back, some don't use highlights in the back. Some use oblong, some use square. There's nothing consistent about this. It's not unique. Looks like 4 different organizations. So that basically means for Anderson, if we wanted to have the same success, we'd have to deliver 1,200 meals a week. So we could develop an expectation with that look and an understanding of that look, we'd have to work 4 times as hard. I once wanted to plant a red maple tree in my yard, and I asked a friend who runs a nursery when the best time to plant a tree was. He said, about 20 years ago. So thanks, really appreciate that. And then he said, but the next best time's right now. So this is a journey. It's not going to happen overnight for any of your churches. But if you don't get on the journey, you'll never fix the problem.